Okay, well, let me start out and just say this is Growing Up Aspen with Chris Pomeroy and Andy Collin, and we're interviewing Judy Haas, who is a true blue Aspen local and went through the school system just like us and is now residing in Telluride, hiding away in a nice little box canyon.
Little cul-de-sac of mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
not much
funny.
different than Aspen.
It's funny. It's funny, Judy, because every time we've basically made Telluride Film Festival our, family gathering where we feel like we're back home in the mountains in the little town and stuff. And Aspen just doesn't feel that way anymore. And Telluride has kind of become that place. It is just a nice little small place. Can't get any bigger.
That's true. And also because we're in a box canyon, it can only expand so far. So when they built the mountain village, that was for redevelopment and expansion for this area. So it's kind of kept its very nice, intimate sort of vibe here with kids and dogs and everything else, like Aspen used to be back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, etc.
Well, you can really, that's another thing is you can really speak to the time periods and stuff. Can you talk about the Haas family entrance into Aspen? I mean, it probably goes way back.
Well, my mother, whose name is Jacqueline Thaxter, when she moved here in 1949 or 1950. I'm not sure exactly. And she came with a bunch of college friends. And when she got to Colorado, she decided to stay here. She came from Maine, and she just decided this is where she wanted to live. And my father moved here at about the same time, and he was bartending at the Red Onion, and she met him at the Red Onion. So it's kind of like the romance story of Aspen, where we all met our people, our significant others in the bars and out on the ski slopes and partying back then. But so I was born in 1953 in Aspen. And I remember growing up, there were no paved roads, and it was all just dirt streets and cold Victorians that had wood burning stoves in them all. And the only school at the time was the Red Brick School.
Yeah.
And the community school, which is where I went to kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
And so that's all that was here for our schooling. And we used to get out of school every Wednesday afternoon and every Friday afternoon to go skiing because it was a big ski community, of course. And the parents wanted to be skiing, and the teachers wanted to be skiing. And so it was really a very wonderful place to grow up.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know when the yellow school, the elementary, was built? I don't remember.
I believe it was in the 60s, the early 60s.
Okay.
I would have to look it up, but I believe it was in the early 60s. So yeah,
I
so
think
the red brick
you're right.
was grades 1st through 12th grade in those early days.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, and you were in the same grade as Andy Mill, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was on the ski team with Andy Mill and some other people like Virginia Ford and Whit Sterling. And I'm trying to think of who else. Well, a lot of people that aren't even with us anymore. Wayne Inman, Raoul Willie. So the ski team was a really important part of our growing up here in Aspen. And we had Ted Armstrong as our coach and
Yeah.
Dexter Williams.
The Armstrongs.
So maybe you guys knew that too. I don't know.
Yeah, the Armstrongs is a big name because I had Little League, so they ran all the Little League, all the kids ran the Little League stuff. But for skiing, I was wondering because Beth Madsen was in high school when I was there, and I had some classes, study classes and stuff, and so she had like a special thing that she had to do when she was on ski team and with schooling. And so I'm wondering, did they have that kind of a program when you guys, between schooling and skiing, where you had a setup where you got out early to do this, or you came in late because you were doing runs in the morning?
Well, in the early days, we used to practice after school, and it was up on the jumping hill. What is that street that where the jumps are? I can't remember the name of.
It's
on Mill Street or something, or
yeah, maybe it's Mill Street. Let me think. Is it Mill Street? No, it's the
Galena
one over next to Mill Street.
It's right behind the where the Mountain Chalet used to be. It's off to the side.
Yep.
Now. Yeah.
Well, and it's off to the left of the Mountain Chalet.
Yeah.
And the Snow Queen used to be up there, the Snow Lodge. And
Garmisch and Galena. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember right now. It might be Garmisch. And so we would go up there after school, and our coaches would set up a course for us, and we would just hike up and ski down and hike up and ski down, because by then the lifts were closed for the day. And that's what we did every day after school. And then we would go to races all around Colorado. So in Purgatory and Vail, and just the major ski areas here in Colorado.
Well,
and then some of us ended up on the junior national team. And so then they would start traveling all over the United States. And then some of us, like Andy Mill, ended up on the Olympic team.
right.
So yeah, it was wonderful. And then when we got into high school, we could take this lift that they had from the high school to the base of Aspen Highlands, and we could practice there during the day if we didn't have classes. And it was just really wonderful to be able to leave school and go skiing.